crafty friends, it's Rick. I'm back with another video for Pixi Dust Designs. Today we are going to make a Christmas card in July. So I'm going to be using the Holly Jolly stamp and Pixi Cuts. The Doily Die Set. We're going to use this large one right here. I'm also going to pull my color palette from the You're a Cutie pattern paper. We're going to use this pattern right here. And I've already pre-cut that to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I have a piece of pink cardstock as a mat, which is 4 by 5 1/4. So we're going to layer those together in a little while. I have a piece for the inside. And I have my top folding A2 card base. I also have another piece of white cardstock that we're going to die cut first and do our stamping on. So we are going to go ahead and die cut first. I'm going to take the largest doily and I'm just going to need a little section of it to die cut. So I am going to secure that into place. And I will take and pop that into my die cutting machine and cut that out. Right, so here is my doily die cut. And we only needed part of it. So that's why I cut it off the edge. We'll save our die cutting machine again, use it again shortly. But first we're going to use that piece of cardstock to stamp on. Right, we're going to pop in our scrap here. And we are going to grab our image. We're going to use the little Santa and the little reindeer image here. And I'm going to stamp that using Tuxedo Black ink because it's an alcohol marker friendly ink. So that we can get that into play. Put that down there. I can go ahead and remove that. And then we're also going to pop in our little doily. And we are going to go ahead and do our sentiment as well. I'm going to put in the Happy Holidays. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that in our black ink as well. All right, so there's all of our stamping done. I'll take this out. We're going to set that to the side while we work on our coloring. I'm going to pull in a scratch piece of paper and our stamped image, and we're going to color this, and we're going to do simple coloring today. So we're going to start off by coloring Santa. And again, I did pick colors that would match our pattern paper. So I'm going to fill this in with the lightest color, which is in our Copics is our RV 2.0 or 02. So I'm going to go ahead and just color Santa here. Then I have RV 0.04. I'm going to add that in as my shadow color. And then I will blend that out for our mid-tone. Since we're keeping it super simple, we're going to do a light, a dark, and a medium. Or a light and a dark, and we're going to come back over it to have our tones. Just simple coloring. Go ahead and do our little Santa. Finish him up with his little pants. And we'll blend that out. We'll blend that a little bit more. And then we're going to go ahead and give our little reindeer their pink nose as well, so that it is our little Rudolph. All right, for my darkest color on Santa, I'm going to use some cool grays. So I'm going to color that up with our cool little grays here. And give him some little gloves. His little boots. I'm using C3 and C5. So C5 will be my darkest color to match our pattern paper. It's actually our neutral for it. You can use your QT paper for more than just springish cards. You can use them for Christmas cards as well. All right, we're going to do our light parts next. So I will color the white of his hat with C0 and C1. We'll add in the shading on his little mustache and beard. So we'll come in with our darkest color here for that. We're going to add shadow underneath his little face. And we'll blend that out. Give that letter just a little bit of color there. I'm going to color his belt using a Y combination. I'm going to use Y000 and Y02. So we can keep this very light. All right, for our little deer, we are going to do E51 and 53. So we'll go ahead and add that color in. I'll add the 51 first, as we have done. It's also going to be the color of our little stump here. We'll add our shading in with the 53. I'm going to color his antlers that entire 53. A little shading there. Come back to our 51. We'll blend that out. Since we're doing simple coloring there, go ahead and add in our darkest part of our little tree down there. For his little hooves, I'll add in our C5 and just a tiny bit of C3. I will give a little bit of cheek to our little reindeer. We're also going to add some to Santa's nose. And I'm going to do E40 and E41 for his skin. So we'll just add that in. And add in our shadow right there. And for my tree, I'm going to do blue-green. So I'm using BG11 and BG13. So we'll go ahead and fill in our tree first with our lightest color, which is the BG11. Since we are doing super simple coloring, I can switch over to my BG13 and I'll add in my shadows. Just going to come right around his Santa there. We'll blend that out with our BG11 again. So we might have to go over that a couple times. We'll just get that nice and blended. Then we will add a little bit of color into his little ears. A little pink onto Santa's cheeks and nose. And there is our image all colored up in our pastel color palette. I will cut this out with the matching die. Here's our little focal image for our pastel little Santa and our little reindeer. We can throw that away. All right, so I've got my parts and pieces again to our card. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over. I'm gonna add my pattern paper to the inside first. So I'll go ahead and add that to the inside of our card. Flip that over and trim that off. And I can fold that. I'll take my bone folder and give that a nice little crisp edge. All right, I'm going to open my card back up for a second. And I'm going to take a couple magnets and hold this in place. I'm going to go ahead and layer up my pattern paper onto my matte layer. And I can add my focal image right here. So we're going to add liquid glue back behind this. If you like Pixi Dust Designs products, there is a new release coming out very soon that you will absolutely go gaga over. It's super cute. It's all seasonal. You're gonna love it. That's all I'm gonna tell you for now. All right, so there is our focal image. So we can go ahead and add that on. Our card front, we'll go ahead and add that. Slide that into place there. And then we're gonna take and we're gonna pop our little Santa and our little reindeer up after I get my little pop dots. So I'll flip them over. We'll pop a couple foam squares onto our little reindeer and Santa. Take my tweezers. I'm gonna pop those on right above our little sentiment. Then I'll take a gel pen and I'm just gonna add just a little bit of highlights to our little characters. To our little tree there. All right, to finish this off, I'm gonna add a few little extras. I'm gonna add a couple little shiny little embellishments here. We're gonna add 3 at the bottom left, and then we'll pop on a couple up at the top. Add one more. Tucked right in there. All right, my friends, here is a look at our finished Happy Holidays pastel Christmas card using products from Pixi Dust Designs. There's a look at the inside of our card. If you need any of the supplies, I have them all linked and listed in the video description below. If you like this video, you're probably going to like the one coming up right over there. I'll see you in that video. Bye, guys. Stay crafty. Love you.